Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' worldwide PDA tour is backfiring, just as Marvel is now getting desperate, trying to avoid sending Justin Baldoni all the Nicepool details. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. That's right. Marvel is now in the mix, trying to deny Justin his right to figure out if Nicepool was indeed a malicious attempt by Ryan Reynolds. We're going to go through those appeals in a second, those back and forth rather. But first, I want to talk about how the global PDA tour between Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds is absolutely backfiring. Experts are chiming in, but look at this. We went from the Time Met Gala back to Wrexham across the pond, then back to the premiere. Chelsea in our group was making a good point. They've been jetting back and forth apparently across the ocean like 3 times in less than a week. A month after Ryan Reynolds did the UN climate conscious pledge. He is such a hypocrite. But no, they got to get this good press. No matter where they go, that's what they'll be doing. And we've been covering it. Thanks to everybody's watching. But here's what experts are now questioning. Kara Shimmerman of Red Banyan PR tells Fox News Digital this type of strategy, flooding the market with appearances as an attempt to show normalcy and appearing unbothered or unaffected by the drama, is typically not well advised in crisis response planning. Does that surprise you that Ryan and Blake are ignoring the advice of this isn't probably the best idea, but then doing it anyway? I mean, that's so on brand if there was ever a brand. While there is certainly a time and a place for this approach, and it can sometimes be very effective, in this case, it doesn't allow for the heat to die down. The public can be forgiving, but they need time and a reason to forgive and forget. Blake and Ryan seem to be continuing to fan the flames, and it is not landing particularly well for all circles. Facts. This is spot on facts. If the PDA filled images were all that the public saw, the PDA would have definitely helped their image amid the ongoing Baldoni lawsuit drama, because they have always been celebrated as Hollywood's it couple with an amazing relationship. Relationship expert Nicole Moore says the issue for Blake and Ryan's image is that a large portion of the public no longer gets their information solely from media outlets, but from social media and online commentators. Moore referred to online speculation at the Time Gala that Reynolds was told to kiss her before she gave her speech. When the public sees Blake and Ryan looking lovey-dovey at the event, but then goes on TikTok and sees a video about a lip reader sharing that Blake ordered Ryan to kiss her, for instance, it creates mistrust in the couple and plants seeds of doubt that their relationship is staged. So much of the public opinion regarding the Baldoni lawsuit drama has been shaped by voices outside of traditional media, and that's been to Blake and Ryan's detriment. Exactly. Ryan, you got my information. Why don't you just call me? Let's sort this out. I'm a good marketer, way better than you and Blake, no offense. And you guys are just doing every step wrong. Every step wrong. Why won't you talk to someone else neutral on the side? You need help. This damage control is not working. Sure, you got some fans who will always follow you no matter what. But I know all my commenters, like, we were fans, brother. And we are so disappointed in the way you're handling this. You may have feelings, you may believe your wife, but you got to step back at a certain point and go, maybe we did the wrong move here. Maybe we are not fully understanding this, the entire situation here. Maybe Blake did also make some mistakes. Was all this worth it? Those are the types of questions you seem to refuse to answer, and you want to just bully your way back in as if nothing's happened. It's not going to work anymore. As they give this speech and do all this. Now, it's just funny because they're saying, oh, they're not, we're listening to this idea, the lip reader, came from the Daily Mail. Expert told the Daily Mail. Now, I don't know if I believe this. I'm going to say it, and I'm sure all of you do. But here's what they think Ryan said with the lip read, which it's not like 100%. There are real good lip readers on those sites, and they always say this is a best guesstimate. If you ever watched bad lip reading, you can absolutely make something else look like what they said. So you got to be careful. But this is what they're trying to say. They're saying Reynolds said to Blake, I should be there. I need to shine right now. That was what apparently, and then said, you need to understand what I am saying to you right now. Now, if that's true, that sounds very bad and controlling. Blake was then pictured placing a hand on Ryan's cheek and said, kiss me one more time, which then he did, shared a kiss, and then he got up to do the speech. So we'll talk about that later today during our live. I want to go through the lip reading, so make sure you join us today live as we watch that and see, is that realistic? Do we buy it? Because I'm on the fence. What I want to talk about now, which we're also going to talk in more depth during the live, is this Marvel dispute. Now, Marvel has now responded and said, nah, we're not doing anything. We're not taking this seriously. Enough is enough. Here is Marvel's response. This is coming in from Marvel's side first. Deadpool and Wolverine features a number of different versions of the Deadpool character, including Lady Deadpool, Dogpool, Kidpool, Headpool, Nicepool. The Wayfarer parties make brief reference to Nicepool in their first amended complaint. Specifically, they allege that Reynolds and Lively continued to leave breadcrumbs in the campaign for mocking and bullying defendant Justin Baldoni by including Nicepool as a vicious caricature of Baldoni, and that scenes with Nicepool were intended to be a transparent and mocking portrayal of Reynolds' warped perception of Baldoni. The subpoena calls for the production of all documents and communications concerning the creation, development, modification, or portrayal of the character Nicepool from Deadpool Wolverine. It also calls for the production of all documents, communications concerning Baldoni. Marvel further understands from a notice provided by Reynolds that the RFPs call for Nicepool-related documents from Reynolds. The documents at issue are irrelevant to the resolution of the claims asserted in this case. The requested documents are particularly sensitive because they relate to the development of a character in an ongoing movie franchise. Marvel has built the success of the MCU in large part by interconnecting storylines, plots, characters across its titles, including crossover events and sequels. Whether and how such elements will appear in upcoming unreleased project is the subject of much public interest, and this information is closely guarded by Marvel. You mean like when you put all those chairs and told us about all of the characters that are appearing in the next movie, we can't learn about the previous behind the scenes on Marvel? I gotta get up. There's literally a book on it. You've literally made a book on the history, on the reign of your, like, it's all public knowledge there, my man. Nice try, Disney. Nice try. Marvel's confidentiality concerns are heightened because of this. Court has observed the details of this case have been closely followed by the media. The parties that have accused opposing parties of providing private, sensitive, and confidential information to the media in ways that cannot easily be traced. Look at them. They're using Blake's lingo now. And where confidential information is not disclosed to the media, it may spread by gossip or innuendo. Even if the requested documents are produced with the highest level of confidentiality permitted by the protective order, there remains serious risk that they will just be disclosed to the public. Oh my God, we can't tell everybody that Nicepool is coming back for Doomsday as if that's happening. Give me a break. Give me a break, Marvel. Talk about trying to just get away with it. We're not going to provide it because we are Marvel and we're too confidential. Load of BS. So here was the response coming back. Brilliant response. Marvel did not meet and confer with us in good faith to resolve this dispute. Marvel sent the Wayfarer parties a letter containing its objections to the subpoena. On April 7th, my office met and conferred with Marvel counsel via telephone about the objections, and although we attempted in good faith to address their concerns about confidentiality, Marvel's counsel interrupted us, refusing to engage in that discussion. Instead, Marvel's counsel interjected and stated he merely wanted to know what documents the Wayfarer parties really needed, regardless of the subpoena's demand for all documents. We responded that we wanted Marvel to search for and produce documents concerning Reynolds, a writer and star of the film, participation in the development of Nicepool, and the communications related to Baldoni, including the character's portrayal of Baldoni. Marvel's counsel agreed to discuss that limited subset of requested documents with Marvel, and the telephone call ended. However, the next communication that the Wayfarer parties received from Marvel's counsel was an email stating that Marvel would be moving to quash the subpoena and then its subsequent letter motion. Marvel's motion should be denied for its failure to meaningfully meet and confer prior to seeking judicial intervention. Even worse, Marvel's motion neglects to advise the court of the Wayfarer parties' proposal to narrow the scope of the subpoena as set forth above. Instead, Marvel inaccurately represents to the court that Wayfarer are seeking all documents about a character in a major film and all documents concerning an actor. To begin with, whether Nicepool is an expression of opinion or not, while perhaps relevant on a motion for summary judgment, is entirely irrelevant to determining the propriety of the Wayfarer party's subpoena. Indeed, even if the Nicepool character were found to be an expression of pure opinion and therefore inactionable in its own right, information concerning Nicepool and communications exchange and relations thereto would still clearly be relevant to, among other things, the question of Reynolds' alleged malice. Amen. Marvel further argues that the Nicepool documents are particularly sensitive because they relate to the development of a character in an ongoing movie franchise. Yet, as Marvel itself recognizes, this court has entered a protective order that provides for ample protection of any proprietary information. Marvel notes that whether and how unspecified storylines, plots, and characters will appear in upcoming releases is a subject of much public interest, closely guarded. However, The subpoena only seeks documents concerning Nicepool from one movie that has already been released. Thank you. Deadpool and Wolverine. In fact, the character does not appear in any other film in Marvel's franchise and will not appear in any future films since it was killed in its first appearance. The Wayfarer parties have proposed in good faith and to avoid any undue burden upon Marvel to narrow the subpoena to documents concerning Reynolds' participation in the development of Nicepool and communications concerning Baldoni. Marvel will not be prejudiced if the court declines to stay compliance with subpoena because the film has already been released and any non-public documents can be marked confidential pursuant to the protective order. We request that the court, deny this motion and that they comply. I mean, well said, well read. I saw Leanne on there applauding this. Well done. This is nonsense of Marvel. Now they're trying it's just so many delay tactics that it's getting frustrating. It's the problem with this case. So many delays. Step up. And why are you still doing this, Ryan? I can't believe he's letting it affect Marvel now. Like, what are you doing? Because he called her sexy? Girl called him sexy. Because Jamie stared at her eyes during breastfeeding? I mean, because they talked about adult films? Dude, you've done so much worse from your own daughter. What are we doing? This is absurd. You look like a moron. I'm so disappointed in this overly aggressive action, all in an attempt to gaslight us all and tell us that your wife was not a bully on the press tour, which she was. You're telling me her mom is a survivor and you waited till the Time 100 gala, which you bought, allegedly, in my opinion, for a donation you gave? Time didn't give it to you because of this case. Everyone's terrified. In fact, what I'm hearing is there are so many friends of yours and people close that they want nothing to do with this, and they're terrified their actual feelings about you are going to get exposed in this legal battle. Is that what you want? You just trying to figure out who your friends are? What a dumb way to do it. The hubris and ego on this couple is through the moon. And this PR press tour that they tried to do to just distract us all, which PR experts are acknowledge, it's a tactic. I see totally through it. I see through it. I know you guys do too. We're going to talk more about this. A lot more is coming and developing. So join us today during our live around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Also, before you go, hit the bell. I just reviewed Marvel's Thunderbolts. Probably a lot of you are going to be like, I'm boycotting Marvel, but you don't have to boycott Movie World Plus. Trying to get us to 30,000 subscribers. Can you go check out my review? I'm going to put it right here at the end. Check the review. Go watch it. Whether you watch the movie or not, at least watch my review and support and subscribe, because guess what? Tomorrow, my review for Another Simple Favor is also going to be on Movie World Plus. So you make sure you hit that subscribe over there as well. So there it is. Click the Thunderbolts review, watch it, subscribe to Movie World. Another Simple Favor review is dropping tomorrow on Movie World, and I got some more to spill for you here.